Most of us have at least one bad habit, but when it starts to affect your quality of life, then it's time you do something about it. Whether it's midday snacking, procrastinating, or skipping workouts, feeling powerless in the face of bad habits can really take a toll on your motivation, even your self-esteem. And despite our best efforts, we might not be able to break out of the toxic grasp of a certain bad habits. This is why it is crucial that we understand the psychology behind habits to learn how exactly we can break them. Every habit revolves around a neurological loop that includes 3 parts: cue, routine, reward. The cue usually triggers a routine, which leads to a temporary reward. It has been observed that the habit loop is wired into our psychology and is extremely powerful. Understanding the aspect of the habit loop can help us realize why it's so difficult to break a bad habit. In fact, we can never actually break unhealthy and toxic habits. We can only replace them with newer, healthier, and more positive habits. Now we came to the main point of our video: how to get rid of bad habits. If you are keen on breaking your bad habits and replace them with new, healthier habits to live a better life, then here are a few psychology-based ways to help you get rid of bad habits. Number 1 is to identify the habit loop. Analyzing the habit loop and the cause of your bad habit is the crucial first step to breaking out of it. Be aware the next time you engage in your routine of the habit, focus on the cue that triggered the habit and the reward it provides. Look at the circumstances surrounding the behavior, including the time of day, who you are with, and what emotions you are feeling. Make sure to write down your cue, routine, and reward every time to be able to diagnose it better. Analyzing your toxic habits in detail will help you become aware of your bad habits and find helpful alternatives. This awareness will transform your habit from an automatic subconscious routine to a deliberate conscious behavior. Number 2 is to focus on the new, not the old. Most of the times when we decide to break a bad habit, we tend to focus on the routine itself, which we need to stop. This immediately puts us into a negative frame of mind, where we are thinking about how not to think about the routine, and as a result, we end up thinking about the bad habit more than we do otherwise. This is why we often fall back to bad habits even after making progress. What we need to do is shift our focus from negative goals to positive goals. So, instead of telling ourselves that we can't or shouldn't do, we need to tell ourselves what we should or must do. So, if you want to stop eating junk food, focus more on eating healthy and exercising than stopping your poor eating habits. This is one of the crucial ways to get rid of bad habits. Number 3 is to look for better alternatives. Once you have figured out the cue, routine, and reward of your bad habit and build a positive frame of mind, explore healthier alternatives that you can use to replace your bad habits. Building new routines will empower you to accomplish your new goals. Whatever it is and whatever you are dealing with, you need to have a plan for what you will do instead of your bad habit. Create a list of options. It is important that you focus on building new routine that will enable you to decompress after a stressful day and leave you in a positive frame of mind to get freelance work done. Number 4 is to set realistic goals. Another way to get rid of bad habits is to set clear goals. Instead of having a vague goal like eating healthier, Focus on building specific, realistic goals that you can actually achieve. Think about what exactly you want to eat to get healthier. Creating realistic and specific goals will help you take effective action that will ensure you build a new, healthier habit in the long run. Decide on a realistic schedule that will work for you based on goals that you believe you can meet. It is also important that you do not judge your decisions or efforts based on your past situation of failures. Habits are an adaptive feature of how the brain works. It is always going to be easier to react based on something you have already planned out, trying to come up with a new plan on the fly. This is why you must plan out how exactly you will build your new habits and develop the right mindset. Number 5 is to remove triggers. Eliminate as many triggers from your life as possible. Stay away from people, situations, and things which may trigger your bad habits. Get rid of all the alcohol. Stay away from the bar. Avoid smoking breaks. Throw away the candy bars. Do whatever you need to, but make sure to cut out the triggers so that you can successfully build a newer habit that is healthy for you. Make it easier on yourself to break bad habits by avoiding the things that cause them. This is a crucial stage to help you get rid of bad habits. Number 6 is to change your environment. An excellent way to get rid of all the trigger is to change your environment and move to a new one. Our environment greatly influences our lifestyle and habits. By changing the environment we live in, we can get out of the autopilot mode that supports our bad habits and build a new routine in absence of the cue. Your environment makes your bad habit easier and good habits harder. You change your environment and you can change the outcome. In fact, research shows that moving to a new environment can help to change habits as we are not exposed to familiar triggers. If you move to a new place, you won't have all of these environmental cues. If you take advantage of time when you go on vacation or when you do something else for a few weeks, those are really good times to break a habit. Number 7. Be patient. It is highly likely that your bad habit have formed over a period of time and not just in a few days. Similarly, it will take adequate time to form a new healthy habit, as it requires a lot of dedication and commitment. It is unlikely you can change completely right away if this is an ingrained habit, reinforced by others and caused by some self-defeating tendencies. So you are not going to throw them off in an instant. In fact, according to a 2010 study titled "How Are Habits Formed?", on average it usually takes 66 days to change a specific behavior. However, the time period can vary from 18 days to 254 days. So, it is imperative that you remain patient and focus on progressing in a slow and stable manner. Number 8 is to share your goals with others. If you want to get rid of bad habits, then tell others about it. Sharing your goals with your family and friends can prove to be highly beneficial for changing your bad habits permanently. When we tell others about a goal and we do not follow through on it, we are punished with shame and feeling that we let other people down. Although shame should not be a motivator in this case, it surely is effective. By informing our friends and family about our goals to change bad habits, we become more likely to follow through on them, as we don't want to seem like a failure or give our best to break our bad habits. According to a 2019 study by Ohio State University, sharing our goals with the right person can help us achieve it. The study discovered that our commitment and performance towards achieving a goal increased manifold when we share it with someone we look up to, someone we believe has a higher state than us. Contrary to what? Number 9 is to expect setbacks. If you want to get rid of bad habits, then it won't be easy. If you are expecting a smooth ride, then you are in for a shock. No one is immune from the occasional slip-up. So, when this happens, don't beat yourself up or retreat into negative self-talk. The only way to solidify your habit loop is to expect setbacks and effectively plan for them. Tell yourself that it is okay to slip up a few times as long as you are focused on achieving your goal in the long run. If you use that slip as a proof that you can never change, you will in fact not be able to change. Instead, try to figure out why you slipped. Dear friends, it's time for change. Now that you know about the psychology of habits and how to get rid of bad habits, it's time you get started. However, remember that it all starts with awareness. By being aware of your own negative habits and behaviors, you can achieve great success in removing them from your life. Of course, it will be difficult and take a lot of time to change a bad habit completely. However, if you are determined to get back up after every time you fail, you can manage to turn your life around and be healthier and happier. Best-selling author James Clear concludes, "You might not have success right away, but that doesn't mean you can't have it at all."